Hello, and welcome to Forgotten Wisdom. I am in the SCOBY kitchen. As you can see, this is our off-grid SCOBY, 36-foot Bluebird 1993 converted retired school bus that we outright own, and we park it off the grid all over North America. But we like to call Northern Arizona our home base. For the past 6 years, we've been parking our off-grid SCOBY in the forests, the prairies, the deserts, on the beach, in the mountains, and just living with the land, with nature, the rhythm of the planet. And here on Forgotten Wisdom, we do a number of things, always geared towards helping you live a more productive, healthier, informed life. Today we are in the SCOBY kitchen, where we bake and cook and show you how to make these forgotten recipes that have long been forgotten. They used to be part of your ancestors and your grandparents' way of life. Not only do we bake and cook, but we also make things and show you how to make things that can improve your life, improve your health, improve your preparedness, because that's very important here on Forgotten Wisdom. We're all about homesteading, off-grid living, holistic life, prepping, and survival. The old ways have a very deep ingrained place in my heart. And today we're going to be showing you how to make homemade kombucha. Now, kombucha is an ancient elixir of fermented tea, and sometimes fermented juices mixed in for flavoring. But the constitutes that come from drinking a glass of kombucha daily are unmatched. We're talking about the top ranking health that you can get. Now, kombucha has a way of alkalining your body so that cancer just can't grow in the body. And I'm not giving you any medical advice. I'm just telling you what the statistics, what thousands and thousands of years have shown us. Most people who consume kombucha on a daily basis, they don't see cancer growth in their body, and they've done studies and found entire villages and societies that are still living the old ways, way back in the places of China and Russia that are untouched. And there's never been an episode or a report of cancer in their entire existence. And whenever they looked at it, they found that kombucha was at the heart of their beverage consumption. And so they tested it. And kombucha does have anti-cancer properties. It also increases your immune system substantially. When it comes to gut health, this is a probiotic. It is a prebiotic. And it will actually change the gut flora so that your entire digestive system works at the top of what it can do, the top level of health. So today we're going to be making kombucha, and we're going to be making this kombucha out of a batch of very old kombucha that I have had around for months and months, almost a year, that I've just kept going. And I use the jar here. This is a half-gallon ball canning jar. And you can see at the top the kombucha mother. Now, the mother is like a vinegar mother. It is like a starter. But the mother is the reason that we get kombucha. You put the mother in with your tea, and the sugar gets eaten by the mother. And what's left over is almost like wine. You can call it wine tea. Why not? But it results in kombucha, which is a fermented tea drink. Now, I grew this mother, and in another video I'll show you how to grow your own mother using store-bought kombucha with no flavoring off of one jar, and you can make kombucha for the rest of your life with that one purchase of that kombucha. But this is known as a kombucha motel. I mean, not a kombucha motel, a mother hotel. Because this has got, I think there may be 7 kombucha mothers in this hotel. And if you take and keep your mothers inside of this jar of kombucha, which I made, and you refresh it on a monthly basis with 1 cup of fresh, sweet tea, then your kombucha mothers will never die, and they will continue to grow, and you can continue to make kombucha at home for as long as you want. You will always have kombucha, and you always have kombucha mothers. Now this will get very vinegary-like, so you want to refresh it once a month with 1 cup of sweetened tea, and it can be black tea, green tea, or a mix. And I like to use a black tea and a green tea mix. So today we're going to be using this kombucha that I've had around for months, and we're making a fresh batch, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Alright, now the first thing is real simple. All you really need to do is, if you're going to be making a half a gallon, which I suggest, or a gallon, I mean sometimes I've made gallons, it's just how many people are going to be drinking it, but I like to make the half a gallon. We go through it, it stays fresher, and we go through it on a daily basis. But you fill this up with, and it's very important, purified water. Now, your water can just be filtered, and as long as it's clean water. We use the pure filtration system, okay? And so then the water is very pure. This works really good. And you want to start with very clean, very fresh water, and you're just going to fill the jar, whatever jar you're using. And in this case, this is a half a gallon ball canning jar. I keep a bunch of these on hand, and you can pick these jars up in secondhand stores all day long. Usually the Goodwill in my town has 1 or 2 on the shelf every month or so. So you just fill it to the top, leave about 1 inch of headspace, just like you're making a half a gallon of sweet tea or unsweet tea with purified water. Then you're just going to put it into your pan. You get a pan right here. That way I know exactly how much is in here. It's going to all fit by measuring it just like that. Okay, then we're going to turn this on, and we're going to heat our water to where it's not boiling, but beginning to want to boil. That's because you don't want to scorch your tea. Just the same when it comes to making a good batch of sweet tea. Now, what I'm using is black tea, and this is a really good tea to use. I don't get paid for telling you this by Twinlings Company. It's just my choice, because I know that English breakfast tea is a very good tea to use when it comes to making kombucha. It is a good blend, and so I suggest some sort of English breakfast tea. Okay, and for a half a gallon, I use 3 of these tea bags, 3 black tea bags, and my choice is a mixture of green and black tea, which makes a very, very tasty, very strong, very wonderful kombucha. And so I use 3 English breakfast tea bags. The company don't matter. And then I have 3 organic green tea bags. Okay, and it doesn't have to be organic. There's no genetically modified tea. They don't really spray it a lot, or at all even, but it's important to me. Very clean food, very clean stuff. So I use 3 green tea bags with my 3 black tea bags. Alright, so when the water is almost ready to boil, you take the tea bags, you put them in there, you put a top on your water, you let your tea brew, turn it off, let it brew for about 10 or 15 minutes. You want it strong, okay? And then after that, I happen to have some freshly brewed green and black tea right here that I did earlier for the batch that we're doing today. And we're going to take the top off of that. We got our 6 tea bags right here. Just dip them a couple of times. Make sure you get all of the good stuff out of there. Now this is really hot. Be very careful, but you squeeze your bags. You don't have to do it the way that I'm doing it, but I'm very used to doing it like this. Been doing it for many, many years. You just want to get all of the water out of there. It helps bring out a lot of the tea as well. And these can be composted, or they can just be tossed. Okay. So then we have fresh tea right here. Okay. Now the next thing you want to do is make it sweet, because your kombucha mother has to have sugar in order to do its job. So I put 6 tablespoons. Now remember, you're not going to drink this right away. So you're thinking, wow, that's pretty sweet. Not really, because the kombucha mother is going to transform this sugar in a lacto fermentation process into kombucha, and it won't be very sweet. Now, the longer that you let your kombucha sit, the less sweet it's going to be, the more acidic it's going to be. So you want to taste it after about 7 days, and if it's warm, about 3 days. And that way you get a good flavor just the way you like it. Once I put the 6 tablespoons of sugar in here, and it don't matter what kind of sugar you use, don't use honey. Honey will not be good for the kombucha mother. You don't want to do that. You can use sugar. Just mix it up, just like you're making sweet tea. Now we're going to need to cool this down. You can either let it set, or you can do it the way that I'm going to do it. I'll be right back. Alright, so I have ice. We're just going to put the whole ice tray in here. It's going to cool down very fast. Alright, but you do not want to put it that hot into the jar. It's not good for the jar. And also, you do not want to use very hot liquids with your kombucha mother, because it will kill the kombucha mother. This is a very sensitive mother, and you don't want to subject it to anything harsh, such as too much heat. So this cooled down substantially. And I'm just going to mix it up so that all of the ice cubes are melted, and it's very cool. Alright, so we got that mixed pretty well. Now, I'm just going to put this into the jar. Now, before I pour my sweet tea into the jar, I need to inoculate the jar and the tea with kombucha. So this is how you're going to do it. Measuring cup, okay? You're looking for 1 cup of pure kombucha. So I've got the kombucha here with the mothers in it. This is my mother hotel. I'm going to use this metal bowl, and I'm just going to take the kombucha mothers out of here. Now you can touch them. My hands are clean. I'll make sure that I did that before starting all of this, which is a very good practice in the kitchen, you know. And these are just numbers of mothers. There's probably 4 right there. And this one's a very large. You can see this is number 5. This is very large. And these are thick and rubbery. So they're very sturdy. Alright, and it doesn't matter if some of them fall to the bottom there. That doesn't matter. What I'm trying to do is just get these out of the way so that I can get 1 cup of kombucha out of here. Alright, then you're just going to pour a cup of this kombucha. 1 cup is a very good inoculation. Okay, 1 cup of kombucha. That's actually a cup and a half. Gotta pay attention there. Alright, so 1 cup. There you go. Put that in first, because if you don't put it in first, you're gonna be like me, and you're gonna end up putting all the tea in there, and then you have to take tea back out. Then you have to find some place to put it while you put the kombucha in the jar. So basically what we're doing right now is inoculating the sweet tea that I'm about to put in here. Now, just pour this in. You want about an inch of headspace at the top so that you don't make a mess. So that's what I do. Now there's some tea left over, and I'm going to water this down, and I'll have some sweet tea to drink today. Okay, now this is very cool. This is inoculated with kombucha. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take one of your kombucha mothers, and it doesn't matter which one, but I like this large one. And you're just going to drop it in here, just like so. Now a lot of people will tell you, oh, it's got to float. That's not true. As long as this is in your sweet tea, it is going to form a protective layer around itself and inoculate your tea into fermentation process, which will eventually become kombucha. Now, after you put that in there, that's all you need to do. Clean off the rim. Don't want this getting nasty, okay? Now, this is just a canning ring and a canning lid. We're not going to make this tight. You're going to just literally sit this on top. Now, the idea is to keep the bugs out, keep the gnats out, right? Keep the dust out, okay? So just put it on there. Do not tighten it down. And you'll let this sit in a cool, dark place for up to 5 to 7 days. I would check it around 3 days, check it again at 5 days, check it again at 7 days, because it is according to the temperature in your home. And here in the SCOBY, it's pretty nice and cool. It's a fall day. So this may, in the summertime, this was taking me 2 days to make this. It may take 3 to 5 days now. It's according to how warm we keep it in here with the wood stove and all. Keep the windows closed. But this is going to be put into a cool, dark place. And you're just going to let it sit. And then after about 3 days, you're going to taste of it. If it doesn't have that fizzy kombucha-like taste, you want to let it set for another 2 days, and you keep doing that. And it shouldn't take no more than a week. It's according to how warm it is. But that's all you need to do. Now, we'll set that aside for just a moment. Now, back to our kombucha motel. You see we have room in here for some kombucha or some tea. Now, I have a mixture of kombucha and tea to make it a perfect flavor already in the refrigerator. And I could fill this up, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to put my mother's right back into the motel. And this has already been refreshed with a cup of fresh sweet tea. I think I did it yesterday or the day before, but very recently. And you have to do it once a month. And the mothers can just sit in there and they will live peacefully. Put the top on there again. Don't tighten this down. I have here a mother hotel and a ½ gallon of kombucha that'll be ready in about 3 days. And that is how you make kombucha at home out of a batch that you already have started. Once this is ready, you can put it into the refrigerator and tighten the top down. And then every day, drink a cup of kombucha to keep the doctor away. This has been Spirit in the SCOBY kitchen on Forgotten Wisdom. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe and like the video, and we'll do more of these. I'll be doing more videos today, but this one will be available as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.